Okay, it says that I'm live, and I'm going to, again, I'm going to let it roll a second because it seems like it just takes a little bit for the scene to catch up. Okay, so something that is I just think is funny, coincidence that I want to. So there's this protective order that Heather has in place that goes something along the lines of, I'm so dangerous to her and the kids and just people in general because I'm so violent that I can't even, you know, it's so extreme, dude. I can't even send them a birthday card. I can't message them through Instagram. I can't send them an email. I can't have, if I actually had someone, a third party, even like my mom, call them up and say, hey, John said he loves you, that's a violation of the protective order, right? If I like one of my kids' Instagram posts, it's a violation of protective order. If I call them or go see them or even accidentally bump into one of them at you know, the store or out in public and gave them a hug, that's a violation of protective order and I could go to jail. So that's how serious this protective order is. It's basically like, look, you don't contact them, you don't drive over there, you don't talk to them, you don't email them, phone call them, nothing, no contact whatsoever. And it's because you are so dangerous, right? Now, with that understood, this is all Heather's, saying and insisting. This is Heather's words insisting that this is necessary in order to protect her and her children. Okay, now with that established, her best friend, Martha Cardwell, has been around for years, and she and I know each other, and I know her ex-husband Zane, and I know what she put Zane through and what her family went through while she was doing her crazy ass divorce with the same kind of nonsense that she put Zane through. So we all know each other really well. She's the one who encouraged Heather, cheerleadered her to divorce me and go on and be a strong, independent woman and to do her own thing. And as I understand, that completely crashed and burned. That Heather, actually had to work for a little bit, and then she quit as soon as she could uh, con someone else into doing it. I believe that she has someone else doing the work now. So that whole plan fell to, anyway, but that's not neither here nor there. Uh, but Martha Cardwell was the cheerleader because, hey, look, I can, create a psycho situation and fuck Zane over. You can surely do it to John. It's easy. So Martha basically, and other crazy bitches as well, got involved and encouraged Heather to pull shenanigans like she did. And so this is the history of Martha Cardwell. She knows us. She knows the situation. She's fully aware that there's a protective order and that it has to do with me being extremely violent and dangerous to women and children. So, as a complete coincidence, I happened to be out last week taking pictures with my girlfriend at just different places around Northwest Arkansas because it's scenic, and we were doing stuff for my girlfriend's work, her store, and we were taking pictures and doing some things for work. And while we're taking photos instead of in front of a building on a public street, and by the way, the street was dead. There was nobody out there. Nobody could be seen forever, and we were taking photographs for my girlfriend's Instagram for her work. And all of a sudden, I hear someone yelling, and so I look around. What's okay? I hear a woman yelling, and I look, and the only person I see is a woman with big sunglasses and a big hairdo, pushing a stroller and walking down the street towards us, but from far away. So I'm like, well, she's yelling far away, and I don't know, maybe she's yelling at me, but I can't quite hear her. So I look around and I don't see anyone else. So I think that she must be yelling, hollering to me. So I'm like, hello, what? Are you talking to me? And she's like, of course, something about, yes, I'm talking to you, asshole. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I don't even know you. What is going on here? And so she's pushing a stroller with a baby in it towards me and my girlfriend down the street. And so eventually I figured out what was going on. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. Now she's getting close. I see what's going on. This is Martha Cardwell, Heather's best friend, who's fully aware of how dangerous and psychopathical I am, especially to kids. now has a baby in a stroller between me and her, and she's approaching me, coming closer, screaming at me, calling me names, and then hollering at my girlfriend. So my girlfriend told her that, hey, I don't know who you are or whatever. You need to mind your own business. And I was dumbfounded. I was just dumbfounded. So we got in the car and drove away. And then it just dawned on me, like, what's going on here? First of all, this is third party contact, maybe, because this is Heather's best friend. Surely, if I had my best friend called Heather, that would be a violation of a protective order and I'd be thrown in jail. If I had my best friend hollering and screaming at Heather and calling her an asshole and shit, I would definitely be thrown in jail. For Martha Cardwell, who's fully aware of me, Heather, our situation, protective orders, everything that we've been through, me in jail, the whole 9 yards, for Martha Cardwell to approach me from down the street at a distance where I couldn't even see her or recognize her, for her to recognize me, know who I am, push the baby rapidly in my direction towards me, pushing the stroller towards someone as vicious and dangerous as me, especially to women and children, and possibly her, because she's my ex-wife's best friend. Who knows? I could have, if I'm a psychopath, right? I could have theoretically freaked out and killed her and the baby, right? I mean, who knows what could have happened? But instead of making a irrational decision that this guy's a psychopath, dangerous to women and children, I'm not going to turn the stroller around and go the other way and keep my mouth shut to protect this baby and me from this terrible danger. I'm going to start screaming at the guy from a distance, start calling him an asshole until he realizes who I am, with a baby between me and him. I don't think Martha Cardwell really thinks I'm dangerous. And I think that Martha Cardwell gets all of her information from Heather. So it doesn't stand to reason that Martha Cardwell, that Heather thinks I'm dangerous and Martha Cardwell doesn't. Why is Martha Cardwell so perfectly willing to push a baby stroller right into my face and call me an asshole screaming at me if I'm so dangerous? That's an interesting question. There's a lot of proof that I have that Heather doesn't think I'm dangerous, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the day after she signed the protective order saying that I'm so dangerous that she's terrified of me, I dropped the kids off at her place. I guess, I don't remember, unaware of the protective order or whatever, and she came out and got all aggressive in my face. You know, if you're terrified of somebody, they're going to kill you, you don't come out of your house when they're dropping your kids off and get all in their face like fuck you and all that. You call the police and you're like, hey, I want to make sure that this stuff is peaceful when my kids are getting dropped off. You don't come out there, ha ha ha, guess what, fuck you. You don't even know what's coming yet. If you're terrified of somebody, you stay in your house, So this whole shenanigans about me being dangerous is bullshit. No, I'm not saying I'm not dangerous. Here's the thing. Chris Kyle's dangerous. Chris Kyle killed 160 some people, 70 some people. Just because you're dangerous and lethal doesn't mean that or violent, doesn't mean you're a danger to your wife and kids. If your wife is afraid of you for some reason, why? Why is she so afraid of you? What have you done to piss him off? Why would a guy like that, who's so cool with everybody and kids and everything, why are you so freaked out? Why are you so afraid of this guy? Why do you think that he wants to kill you or whatever? Think that through. I'm cool with a lot of people. Most people. Like I said, I haven't hurt anybody. Find one person anywhere that will say that I hurt them at all. It's been a really long time probably since I've done any kind of physical pain to anybody. I mean, a long time. All right, and so I'm going to end this one probably, but no, maybe I won't. I want to keep going on. I don't want to have to keep making more and more of these. I'll just let it go. The other thing I wanted to say is, if you want to talk about, Tim Helder and the Sheriff Department being assholes, let's talk about December 2015 when I was making the last trip from the house that I had built in Newton County through that low water bridge down there, right out, right close to my place. And I was hauling all the last of Heather's shit and Daisy's rodeo that I was going to build for her from that house that Heather had just sold that I had built. She just fucking cashed out my life savings and took that money and hid it in a safety deposit box so that nobody knew it was there. That's a whole nother story that I'm going to get to in stage 5, if we get to stage 5. So I took my life savings and built a house that I thought I was going to live in for the rest of my life. And instead, Heather decided she was going to fuck me over and make me sign off on it so she could sell it and then take all the money and put it in a safety deposit box and hide it from everybody, which she did. And this is all common knowledge. She already got caught. She already got caught, and Social Security already made her pay it back. But there's still stuff they don't know about, and we'll address that in stage 5. But anyway, so while I was forced to liquidate that property under all kinds of threats that Heather made, and me having my ass whipped by Washington County Sheriff in 2015, they finally let me out of jail and everything, and I finally signed off on the paperwork so that Heather could steal all my money, steal my entire life savings, and then hide it in a safety deposit box from everybody, which she did. My buddy Kendall kind of came to my rescue and bought that from her so that she didn't just completely get away with fucking me over in the house that I had designed and engineered and hand built that she sold and hid from everybody, all the people. I'm just gonna leave it there. She hid from everybody. She hid that money from everybody. She didn't want anybody to know that she had that money that she had stolen from me. But I had to get all my shit off of there, including her shit. I had to move all of her shit because she doesn't do anything. I have to do it all. So after she fucked me over, sold my property, and hid the money, I had to go get all my shit and her shit and Daisy's shit and take it over to the new place. So while I was in the process of doing this and freezing my ass off in December after working my ass off every fucking day for a month, moving all of this shit, while I was getting fucked out of my, dream home that I'd built, out of my entire life savings, under the threat of do what I say or I'll fuck you over and divorce you and take your kids and everything you own, which she did and tried to and has, essentially. I fell into a low water bridge because it had been raining and pouring. It was cold and dark, and I fell into a low water bridge in the middle of the night. And my truck, I've got pictures and videos. This is all on Instagram back in December 2015. So my F-350 fell into a creek, essentially, and I ended up staying there all night with it. So I spent the night in a low water bridge that had blown out, and I was in the creek sleeping in my truck. This is so unreal, you can't even believe it. You're just like, man, he's making this stuff up. But the truth is, I've got video and documentation for all of it. So I sleep in my truck a lot. That's not a secret. I travel and whatnot. So I just bed up and go to sleep in my truck. Well, the video that I have of how I was awakened that next morning, you won't believe it. Washington County Sheriff's deputy comes over and opens my door and starts jerking me out of my truck with no probable cause whatsoever. And I was like, bro, I turned the camera on so you can watch this video. And I said, bro, what are you doing? What's going on here? He says, out of the truck, out of the truck, out of the truck. I'm like, I'm getting my camera. I turn my camera on and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm asleep. I'm in the creek. What the fuck's going on? Never really got a straight explanation there. I had a glass jug, like an apple juice jug that I used to have spring water in, and I had a pipe that my friend Jason Dagner designed, custom Dagner pipes, and I had a bag of cherry Cavendish tobacco on the dash. And so, best I can figure, these guys saw a custom designed $140 tobacco pipe that's made by my friend Jason Dagner, and a package of very clearly labeled cherry Cavendish, which I have also pictures and videos of on my dash of that same time. That's just what I drove around with. And a glass jug full of water, spring water. Now, I suppose that these Sherlock Holmeses or Columbos looked in and saw a glass jug of moonshine and a pipe of something burning. And to them, that's probable cause, I suppose. A glass of a clear liquid or a jar of a clear liquid and a pipe with something burned in it must be drugs and moonshine. Anyway, they fucked up bad because it didn't turn out to be that at all. It turned to be a hardworking guy trying to salvage the last of the remnants of an old life and shit for his family, trying to salvage the last hope of, a wife and kids and a stepkid and, trying to keep shit together, and stuck in a creek trying to keep my truck from drowning and I get jerked out and thrown around the ground and, brutalized by the Washington County Sheriff's Department. So kind of straightened those guys out a little bit, and I told them, hey, this isn't cool. This is why people are not liking cops right now. And, they were just assholes, like most cops are. So those are the two things that were on my mind tonight. Just thought I'd share those. But there's much more to come. Stay tuned.